the one-to-one meeting. I can't tell you how often the one-to-one meeting comes up in my coaching sessions with senior leaders. If you think about all the various vehicles that we have in organizational life, the one-to-one meeting often is one of the best ways for us to influence our teams and for us to make our positive leadership impact with the individuals that work for us. Likewise, if you are reporting up to somebody, your one-to-one with that line manager can make or break your career. And when I say that, I don't actually mean it can break your career, but it can be such a valuable vehicle for highlighting the good work you've done, getting support in the areas that you need support in to do your best work, and always finding some time to talk through any development opportunities and other things that are going to build your career, such as training or coaching or other things that you would love to have as part of your career journey. Throughout my career, I really put emphasis on my one-to-ones with my direct reports and with my line managers. When it came to my line managers, and this was in a pre-COVID era, I was somebody that wanted full autonomy of my time. I didn't want to have to turn up at a desk. I was into virtual working before virtual working became the norm. But in order to have that level of freedom, I needed to find a way for my line manager to feel really comfortable that they knew exactly what I was focusing on. So I kept a running document, which might seem like hard work, but I set it up once and then I just updated it every Friday, and it took me less than 5 minutes. I put that on a shared drive. It was a traffic light system with red, orange, green, so that my line manager could look at that during our one-to-ones. They could see the great work I was doing, but that didn't really need much discussion, but they could see how many things that I was making progress on. And then we could focus our time on troubleshooting the other areas. But it also meant at any point, and I let them know every Friday afternoon, it would be updated. So if they wanted to know, oh gosh, I haven't seen Maya at her desk today, well, I wonder what she's been up to, they'd have a really good way of tracking that. It also made performance reviews so much easier because I had weekly logs of everything I've been involved with. And one thing I can tell you is that when it comes to year end or half year end and you're trying to gather all of the stuff that you've done, you miss out so much compared to when you've got these weekly saved documents. Anyway, that was a slight diversion, but I wanted to give an example of how you can really harness your one-to-one reports with your line managers and how you can then use them with your direct reports. We're going to focus on the former today. So we're going to talk about how you can really improve your career through those one-to-ones. So I've given you one example. If you can keep some form of a tracking sheet, what it does, it might seem laborious. What it means is that in your meeting, you don't need to sit there having a transactional conversation about every single thing that you're involved with. I added to my process with that one line manager, and when I sent it to her, I sent a summary with 3 bullets of things that are going well, things that aren't going so well, and things that I felt like I needed a bit of help on, or some other category I chose. 3 bullets like headlines. Every week she got this from me. She might not have seen me for half of the week, but she had 3 bullets as well as a detailed list from me to refer to whenever she wanted. Why do I mention that? Because what it means is that you can then use your one-to-one time, which is really precious. I always saw my line manager's time as extremely precious and a real opportunity to have much more in-depth conversations. Of course, I've been training as a coach all that time, so I really value the one-to-one interaction. But I wanted to be asking about what courses I should be going on. Where does she see that I could be improving? I'm struggling in this area where I really want to make a name for myself on a certain type of program that I'm rolling out. I wanted to be having those kind of in-depth conversations. And the only way I could do that was by having all of this set out. On top of that, before the one-to-one, I would send an email with the latest link to the latest document, and I would highlight in a bullet points some of the agenda items so that nothing came as a surprise. Because the other thing that I have learned, both being a line manager and reporting up to one, is that the more that you're mentally prepared, the less things catch you off guard. So I would say a couple of personal items related to my maternity leave at the bottom as well, so that she didn't react in a way which was not necessarily her favorite reaction, but one that just came up in the moment. I wanted her to have some headspace in advance, even if it was just she'd seen the email pop into her inbox and her brain was mentally slightly better positioned for our one-to-one. So this is just a short video to talk about how I used my one-to-ones with my line managers. I'm going to leave it there, but I wanted to emphasize how much those one-to-ones can influence your career, because if your line manager is able to see all the things you're working on, because they're probably managing lots of different people, if they're able to easily see everything you're working on, it's really easy to assume when you're working hard that everybody knows exactly what you're working on and how much effort you're putting in. Nothing could be further from the truth. Often, the people that are working the hardest are not putting time in to communicating the work that they're doing, and therefore, sadly, their work can be overlooked. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to start thinking about your one-to-ones with your line managers as your opportunity to really sell what it is that you're doing at the moment. I hope that's helpful. Do let me know, and I will be back with more content next week.